Welcome to This Is a Lot. This podcast is for women, ambitious women, exhausted women, creative women, conflicted women, moms who love their kids deeply and still crave a sense of self that lives outside of sippy cups and school pickups. Because let's be honest, regardless of where you are today, this is a lot. Trying to be present and patient with your family while also chasing a career, starting a business, or simply drinking enough water. It's all a balancing act that has never come with a guidebook. And frankly, some days feels impossible. So this space is for the in-between, for the honest conversations that we wish we were having, for the questions that don't have easy answers, and for the moments when you need to feel less alone. Each week, we'll be sitting down with other women who are in the thick of it too. Corporate moms, power pausers, social creatives, and entrepreneurs. To talk about ambition, burnout, identity, guilt, dreams, and everything else that we don't always say out loud. There are no perfect answers here. Just real talk, big feelings, and hopefully a little bit of validation. So thank you for pressing play. We are so glad that you're here. We started a podcast quite literally because we felt alone. We felt overwhelmed. We were started texting each other. We've always kind of been in conversation in and out, but kind of felt like we were a safe place for each other in a period that is a lot, which we'll get into the name of this podcast. And we decided that rather than just keep it in a text exchange, we took the vacation out of the group chat. We took the conversation out of the group chat, and we decided to just open up the doors and share it with what we think is a whole community of women that feel a lot like we do.
Yeah, I feel like we both I went probably 3 years just needing this. And then once the second time we started talking regularly, it was okay, we need to share this with people who are out there looking for something like this, because it's something that I feel like I needed 3 years ago.
Literally, there's no guidebook. And I saw the best thing ever on Instagram the other day, and it was everyone is not doing it all. We all think that they are. We think everyone else is doing it better than us, and everyone is struggling. And I think the biggest disservice we do to women in general is not sharing that.
Yes.
And not being
no one is doing it all.
No one's doing it all.
Right.
So motherhood is a lot. Marriage is a lot. Working, friendships, all of it is just a lot. Everything about being in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and I'm sure this goes for 50s, 60s, etc., is a lot. So we are here. We are putting together a podcast. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than therapy every single week. My name is Ellie Priester. I am 33 years old, almost 34. I have 2 beautiful daughters, one who's 3.5, one who's 1.5, and a husband. I am originally from the Midwest, from Wisconsin, and I now live in Alabama. So there will be lots of funny content around me acclimating to a completely different world, but that's me in a little bit of a nutshell. I guess I should say I'm a working mom. I'm a vice president of marketing for a flooring company, and I guess now pseudo podcaster.
That's amazing. I am Nicole Hartwick. I am the mom of 2 toddlers as well, 1.5 and 3.5, president of a large real estate company in the Boston area. I've been in the Boston area most of my life, and really always been obsessed with helping women build wealth. And so I feel like that's when we started talking, Ellie, and then it just spiraled from there to everything that's even more important, just staying sane.
Yeah. So I was on Zillow, just fucking around, and I sent you this house that was on the bay, or I don't know if to say on the bay, on the water in Cape Cod. And I was this is something's wrong with this house. It's way too cheap, I think. And I was investment property, what's the deal? Was just being nosy. And we started texting about it. And then we started talking about the house you just bought with your family. And we just kind of we kind of always do this. It's we go silent, and then we talk, and then we go silent. But this time you were okay, well, listen here, I have this idea for, how to get a group of moms together. And even I think kind of started about, get a group of moms together as passive income, get together and sing houses, etc. And somehow we ended up with a podcast.
I know. The mistake of answering that text. I'll never forget what I was doing at that moment either. Not the mistake. I'm joking. That's always been a thing for me. Just you texted being oh, what's the deal with this house? And I've always felt people don't know what they're capable of. And I say that with all the love in the world, but I've always invested in real estate with the last dollar in my bank account. And like businesses, buying businesses, things like that. I feel like a lot of women in particular, like don't know that those are options for them. And actually for a long time, that's what I texted you that morning. I would say probably a solid 6 to 8 months. My son has a hard time going to sleep at night, and I lay with him until he falls asleep. And I read a couple books, and then he kind of lays there, and I like typically look at my phone. And I had all these notes in my phone about like ways to help moms. It was just like a thing for me because I was always laying there like, I don't have any free time in the day. That's like basically eats my last hour. And I'm like, this is crazy that like, and I always felt like there's other people out there like this, but like I'm not talking to them. My mind was always on like wealth building. I don't know why. And that's what I like rattled off to you that day when you texted. I was like, guess what I was writing in my note on my phone? Like I almost need to like print all those notes out and all the crazy ideas. Oh, I think the thing that made me say yes to this really was like you just saying like Ellie Unfiltered. Like it's really hard to kind of like put yourself out there. But I constantly am an advocate for women. I legitimately get mad at my friends. I get mad at my sisters. I get mad at people that like, I'm like, you have it in you. Like you have to do it. And you saying like, let's do this. You know, there was hesitation. I'm like, this is it. This is my moment that like something feels scary. Something feels like I don't really want to expose this other layer of me out there into the world. But it's like, if I'm advocating for people to do that, to push the envelope, to do things that make them uncomfortable, like then I have to do it too. So here we are. And I'm super thrilled to be here with you. I couldn't be more excited. It's definitely something that's like, it's got me perked up and ready to go.
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, we literally went through multiple variations of this and then just settled on like, we need a group chat, therapy group chat. And we decided to do it in the form of a podcast because how hard is it to even like respond? I have like 200 unread text messages. Like my friends laugh at me when I send like screenshots of something. Cause like, it's so hard to just find time to respond
214 right now.
And have like, okay, thank you. I'm not crazy. So like, it's just so hard to find time to have like thoughtful conversations. And right now we're in the age of like, where you typically bring our kids. It's either like getting a babysitter, going out to eat with people. Usually it's couples, or even when it's moms, it's like, we're also tired. Like talking about all of these things is really intimidating. And so let's put together a platform of the group chat. So we're out of the group chat. We're into a podcast. We are so excited to talk with all types of moms, right? We're talking with working moms, moms that are on pauses, moms that, you know, decided to, you know, pivot in their career to do unconventional things so that they could be at home with their kids more, or, you know, just figured out that they weren't doing what they were passionate about. I think big things we want to talk about are like mom fails. Like we're just saying every week we want to say, what's your mom fail of the week? What's your mom win of the week, right? Because I mean, personally, I have a lot more fails than I have wins, but I think it's important to celebrate both. And we want to talk about like the moms that have pivoted out of typical corporate careers. What did you do to do that, right? What were your strategies? What are things you're thinking about? I think I would love to talk with moms who decided to stick it out in corporate, and what are ways that you make it happen, right? So like a mentor of mine, I remember sitting down with her and like right when I had my second kid, and she was like, outsource. Like you need to outsource. Stop cleaning your own house. Like stop, you know, picking your kids up from school right when it happens. Like have a babysitter that can help you for an extra hour on these days so you can go work out. Like we need to stop feeling guilty about doing that. And so I think those are the conversations we want to have. We want to normalize them. We want to provide a community that motivates women, that, you know, they can figure out how to do it all. You can't do it all at once. We just posted a Monday motivation about that. But like there's ways to do it that are normal that I think we're all just like scared to lean into.
Yeah. No, and I think the fact is that for like centuries, women have been working, right, in some form. And I think it truly is something that was fabricated. And I really believe like it kind of peaked in like the 90s. And that's right when we were the most impressionable. You're either working or you're not. There's so many things in between. And I think like you just said, like whether you're staying at home, whether you're working a corporate job, whatever it is, this isn't only for one specific type of mom. It's really for anyone that's looking to build wealth, and obviously focus on motherhood and all that all at the same time. So it encompasses so many people. And that's, I think, is important to underscore, because we want to exist in that middle ground. And I don't think there's a lot of brands out there that are like kind of in that gray in between, where it's like, we're not defining people by this or that. It's like, we're all here trying to accomplish the same goal, and everybody's going to get at it from a different direction. And we're both kind of existing in different areas too, the two of us. And so we'll get into that obviously in episodes later on. So yeah, so I guess to summarize, before we jump into the name, which I feel like is the most fun part here, We met each other in Boston.
Yeah.
Interning at Fidelity.
2012, 2013. We can't figure out what year.
It was 12. I know it because I graduated in 13. I was
Okay,
near
it was 12.
a year beyond you.
I'm just trying to pretend like I'm younger than I am.
I know. But yes, we met interning at Fidelity. I still remember meeting you like on the elevator going up to like whatever was like the first intro thing. And I always tell you that like you like put your hair up and got like super into like whatever game they had planned for us that day. And I was like, wow, this girl's intense. But I loved it. And we immediately just like clicked and hung out all summer.
Yeah. I was literally 20 right after sophomore year, landed in Boston. I'd never been there before, lived alone. And you just like literally acted like my big sister. I still remember all of your friends. Like this sounds so funny, but like I remember our last night in Boston. We were in the North Side Italian district and we stayed up until like 2 a.m. and I had like the best cannoli or some kind of dessert of my life.
Oh my
and
God,
I literally hopped on an airplane like at 2 a.m. that next morning to go home. You had like
you
your friends threw me like you what?
All the sailors on them.
Oh yes, yeah. We went to like you took me to some like big party.
Piano bar, dueling pianos.
Yes.
I have the whole night in my head. I wish that like we had pictures, but
we're gonna have we got an archive dive.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like we definitely had iPhones then, right?
I know. Well, Instagram was like brand new at that time.
I don't even think I had an Instagram yet. Maybe we did. But anyways, we met at Fidelity in Boston. You were in the like old school, awesome downtown building doing
Devonshire. Yes. The original one. I think it was like the last, I was in public policy. And I think it was like the last probably group to get moved out. And you were in like the cool one on Summer Street.
Yeah. But I remember thinking like, that's where we like toured. That's where like Abigail sat, you know?
Yeah.
Abby.
That's
God, what a girl boss. Manifesting. Abby, if you're listening to this, please come on our podcast. That'd be amazing.
For sure.
So I was on Summer Street, which was like a brand new building. And I was in communication. And then there was like some other random groups that sat. I was still with a bunch of interns that like we all sat together. So that was fun. But somehow still, I think it's crazy that we were in separate buildings and we still like texted all the time about what was going on and like hung out when we did the intern events. I mean, Fidelity puts on a damn good internship. So
yeah, they did.
But like we, you'd think if we weren't working together every day, like we wouldn't have stayed as close as long as we did. And we did.
I know. It is crazy. And it shows you too that like, I was actually just talking to our CEO this morning about how we've like, I am surrounded by people and people that I love, but not people that I necessarily feel like I'm on the same like wavelength as. Yeah. And genuinely, I think like early motherhood is a lonely like place, even though there's a lot of like moms around. In a way, like you're just I don't know, you just need it. You need your community. And I feel like I didn't realize how much I needed it. And I'm 3.5 years in. And that's what I hope this is for people. It's just something that like, if 3.5 years ago, like deer in the headlights, me could have like stumbled on this podcast, for a little like kick in the ass on Monday morning, or like a little bit of motivation, or a little bit, like you said, just kind of validation of like, it's okay to be overwhelmed, but somebody breaking it down, like, but also like, it's a lot, but like, let's make it less where we can. Like, let's worry about less where we can. Let's simplify where we can. And that's what I hope this does for the people. And I'm really excited to build this community.
I am too. Like, it's amazing what I feel like I've wanted to do something like this. I've been we've talked about it, been very passionate about like connecting with people who are on that same wavelength, like you said. And I've always I think I've been scared to like open up Ellie, right? Like, I think there's always this kind of, you have enough of a door closed where like people can't hurt you, right? Like you just like fall in line, you do what everyone else does. And this is very vulnerable. And I told one of my friends that I was like, I posted on, Instagram or that we're doing this, et cetera. And like, had this like wave of emotion of like both pride, but also like very nervous that what if people hate it? And then it's kind of like, well, if you hate it, don't listen.
Yeah, no, it's a free country.
It's a free country. But okay. So we kept saying the same thing. Let's, get this out of the group chat, and we hit record. I love that. And we're here.
We did. We just hit record. Actually, this is like our third iteration of this because we renamed the podcast, which I feel like we need to go through.
There's a lot of thought that has gone into this name, who we want to be. Like, we want to show up as our most authentic selves. And I think that is like worth noting. Like, this is not like, we joke that like, oh, we were just texting and then we started a podcast. It was like, no, actually, like, we thought about it. We reinvented ourselves. We almost backed out, like there's lots that went into it. And then we just decided like, lean in. What the hell?
Yeah, no, in a way, what you just said is so true. Like, there's definitely like our identity as working moms. We've talked about that before. And like, that's like who you are. And work you is at least for me, is like pretty buttoned up. And again, I was just talking to my CEO and she was saying that she's like, she's like basically a sibling to me at this point. She's like, there's so much more to you than like what you are at work, but that's really difficult to like put out into the world.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that is what makes early motherhood so difficult, because like you only know, and the world only knows like this certain like facade that you've, maybe not facade, but like you said, you only give them so much, and then you have a child and it's just like your like
identity is changed.
Yes, but you're also like, you need to like be able to just open up to people and be real. Like it's too hard to just like kind of deal with it all internally. So I feel like that's like what will be fun about this, probably good for us and hopefully good for the people listening. Like it's like we can also embrace like the other layers, right? There's a lot of layers in like your motherhood that can exist in tandem with you being successful and ambitious. And I think that that's something that definitely needs to be normalized. So I'm excited to do this with you. We originally got really into this being about wealth. And we were talking about how everybody's uncomfortable talking about money. And we even noticed that in the first time we tried to talk about it, we were like, our voice would go down and I almost
like
just
whispering.
Yeah. And we were like, talking about our goals and like putting them out there and being comfortable with that. And we were like, yeah, we want to make $1 million. And like, there was different iterations of that.
Yeah.
And we started like kind of going on that. And then we realized like there's so many more, not to speak for both of us, but layers to what this is.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to help moms feel confident and build wealth and be able to have the best of all worlds and not have to feel like they have to commit to one like kind of section of this. But we realized we were going to talk about so much more than just wealth building.
So much more. And honestly, like our whole like travel of this podcast, or what should I say, like the like unraveling of how this came about is like so metaphoric almost to like young motherhood, career, like working motherhood of like even what you just said, like there's so much more to what we're going to talk about than like just wealth or just money, right? Like I think like we were just talking about a new career opportunity the other day and it was like, yeah, but money's not everything. Like look at all the different layers of that. Same thing goes with the house, like how much a house costs if you're buying it. Like it's not just the price. There's so much more that goes with it. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it just kind of hit me. So I just said it.
No, it's reframing wealth, freedom, time, having the option, having your legacy, right? Like I always joke that I identify as a stay-at-home mom. It literally is just like something that like it's definitely a guilt thing too. Like I just want to be home. It's really something that is really important to me, but honestly has been like a detriment because to your point, like I won't do anything for myself. Like the only time I spent away from my kids was, and really still is, work. And I'm working on that. But I think that I realized early on, like there's like time is really a currency at this stage. So it's not just about money. It's like, do you have your freedom? Do you have your time? And what does that look like for you? Some people love structure. They love plugging in 9 to 5 every single day. Some people say, I'll work 80 hours a week, but I want to work on my own time. It's like, you're going to be different, but the message is the same to everyone. It's just like, figure out what that means to you. And you can have both. You don't have to say, well, I have to choose one lane. That's false.
It's false. Like that narrative is broken. So, okay. So like why this is a lot, like we've kind of danced around it, but like basically again, like this is a lot. Everything we're doing, whether you're a working mom in a corporate role or you're a mom in an untraditional working role, or right now you're a stay-at-home mom, which is like the hardest work of all.
Hands down.
It's a lot, like every aspect of it. And so this is just like, we are taking off the invisibility cloak and we are being raw and real and going to figure it out together. So I feel like this is a good time maybe to go ahead and talk about what you can expect from this. I already kind of said like one thing, and we're going to do this to kind of kick off now, is like a mom fail from the week and a mom win from the week. I think asking like lightning questions to all the guests that we have, like, what are your non-negotiables, whether that be a facial every month or getting a pedicure every month, or what are the things that you're doing to help release time, right? So do you invest in, and it is an investment, do you invest in cleaners to come to your home? Do you invest in a babysitter? Like I have a babysitter, nanny, Angel is what we should call her, that picks up my kids and drops them off from school, right? And talking a little bit about like how we decided to make that investment and what it, kind of ended up being for our family and such a benefit. We want to talk about all of that, but we really do want to talk about, money mindset, career growth, overall mindset, positivity, mental health, self-care, all the things that like moms really need to talk about in here that we put on the back burner, right? And I think obviously building wealth, talking about passive income, again, regardless of what you're doing in your professional career, is a hot topic for both of us. You've already been just a girl boss and doing a lot of like acquisitions and rental properties and things like that. I'm very interested in it. I am very amateur. I shouldn't even be called amateur. Like I'm just very interested. I haven't even started. So you're going to get both sides of the gamut there, which is great. So you can learn alongside me. And we just kind of hope that you leave each week feeling more seen. And I think validation is really something we hope everyone feels.
Yeah, more seen, more empowered. We're really just really excited to build this community, like I keep saying. So
Mom fail of the week. My eldest daughter went to Vacation Bible School last week. And, I got a million emails about it, 1.5 million. And one of them was t-shirt sizes are due. Or t-shirt orders and sizes are due or whatever. And I was like, we don't need another t-shirt. We have so many t-shirts, blah, blah, blah. So I just kind of brushed it off, forgot about it, the more transparent way to say it. And so she comes home from her first day of Vacation Bible School. And she's like, you didn't get me a t-shirt. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And she's like, so-and-so had a t-shirt, so-and-so had a t-shirt. Everybody had a t-shirt. I didn't really believe her. Then they upload pictures on Brightwheel, which is the app that school uses. Literally everyone but 2 kids had t-shirts. So I was like, okay, I'm a bad mom. And so I immediately messaged our director and I was like, is there any way there's a t-shirt left? And she's like, let me look. There's one small left. I'm thinking youth small, right? And she's like, it's going to be big on her. I'm like, that's fine. Youth small. It'll be just a little bit big. She's 3.5. She's pretty tall. No, it's an adult small. The thing literally hangs on the ground. She refuses to not wear it. I fold it in half, put a ponytail around it, cuff up the arms. She wears it to bed every single night, is wearing it every single day during the whole week. And it's very clearly her mom forgot to order a t-shirt. So that was my biggest mom fail of the week. Worked itself out. And then my biggest mom win is I found a tackle box at Target that's silicone and I filled it with all different kind of snacks. There's probably 8 to 10 compartments in it. And my kids ate snacks they have never eaten in their entire life. It was unbelievable. I've seen it all over Instagram and I totally called bullshit and it worked. So $10 at Target. I found it in the aisle on Father's Day when I was trying to get the kids out of my husband's hair, and it was the best thing.
Oh my gosh, my kids love those little bento boxes, but I have some big eaters.
Yeah, my girls refuse to eat.
That's not something. But anyway, that's definitely a good little pro tip. How about those spinny ones? Have you ever seen those ones?
No, that's next time. Now I'm a believer. I was not a believer, and I'm all in.
It's an activity for sure. Yeah. I feel as though my biggest mom fail was kind of a weird one, but today I have just been completely consumed with guilt all day. And I feel the biggest imposter that I was waiting for this to get on this podcast because I'm it's still a struggle. I can't get it through my head that they are okay. You know what I mean? They're going to see me. It's going to be fine. I'm doing the spiral of I have this and this, how do I plan the week? You know what I mean? And that is a fail because you can't do that. You have to plan, commit to your day. I feel that's the one thing for me. If you can plan the day and the week, then you just feel good. You own your time. So that's my fail. I didn't own my day today, really. I sort of floated through it, but we also had no childcare and we've been out last week. So it's kind of hard to break in.
You've been coming off a hot week of doing it all with no childcare. That's rough.
I just wanted to fail when...
So you survived a full week without childcare.
I survived 10 days without childcare.
You're literally here and your hair is down and pretty and you have makeup on. The fact that you're here is a win.
Yes, I'm just here. I'm existing in the world today. So that's my win. I'll come up with a better one next time.
I like it. We'll be delivering hot mom fails and wins.
My other big fail is I have my son definitely has separation anxiety, and so I need you to hold me accountable to say goodbye to him because I sneak out on him. It's so bad.
It's hard. It really is hard.
I know.
That's another thing I think that we're going to be transparent about is I did moms on call for sleeping. One of my kids is a great sleeper. Both of my kids were great sleepers for periods of time and bad sleepers for periods of time. And right now we are in a bad with my oldest, comes in our bed every single night and we don't know how to kick it. We really don't.
I slept in every bed in the house last night.
So here's what's wild is we get into meetings that are expected to be high performers, right? And I'm going to guess anyone listening to this podcast, you're all high performers. And we are doing it on lack of sleep. And we're literally living, I will get on 7 a.m. calls and people are like, oh, is this too early for you? And I'm like, dude, I've lived 3 lives. I've got 2 kids dressed, fed, and out the door to school. That's way harder than whatever we're about to do. I'm sitting down drinking a cup of coffee. I'm ready.
Yeah.
We're good.
No, I think that's the whole point here. This is a lot, but we're doing it together. And that's like why we wanted to kind of like make this community, because if we're going to talk and make ourselves feel better, we might as well bring everybody else in along for the ride. So we're not claiming that we're experts in any of these categories. In fact, we're learning as we go, but we're bringing you on the journey, and we're really excited to do that.
We can't wait. So thank you for tuning in. Until next week, chat soon.
Ciao.